Well, after 33 years of service to the city of Cleveland, Assistant Fire Chief Patrick Mangan has called it a career. As we reported last night, he chose May 21st as his retirement date to honor the 9 victims of the East 87th Street fire. Mangan was there 17 years ago. He will never forget that night and hopes that Cleveland never forgets too. Monica Robbins reports.
My city is now defined by the tragedies that I responded to within it.
33 years.
There's not a location in the city where I don't drive by and say, 3 people died there, 2 people died there.
Assistant Fire Chief Patrick Mangan is ready.
And it's time for me to go.
But there is one last visit.
I'm going to be honest, this is the 3rd time I've been on the street. I tried to find it last month, and it's because I don't need to be here. These are called like triggering events. We didn't get attached. I didn't go to the funerals. I didn't go to the wake. When you go through something this gruesome, it's not good for your mental health.
A memory of East 87th Street he's tried to lock away for 17 years.
It was not a call that we knew ahead of time, knew anything about. It was just a regular house on fire call.
Investigators believe the fire started on the 1st floor.
But it became one night in hell.
Firefighters had to beat back the flames before they can get to the children. They were on the 2nd floor.
We didn't know it was a birthday party. You don't usually expect 8 to 10 children in one house with a couple adults.
He made the call, the weight of it impossible for most to bear.
I said, stop bringing out any more children. We've run out of ambulances because at one point we had 3 children on a tree lawn over there and no ambulance, and we didn't have care for them. I have arrived in hell. To the left is an inferno. To the right is a woman whose skin is dripping from her body. She screams, my babies are in there. What choice do we have?
Mangan testified at both trials of the man whose name he refuses to say. His impact statement revealing wounds that will never heal.
It's important that these children's memory be never forgotten, and the potential that they brought to this earth never be forgotten.
8 children and 1 adult, 9 angels.
Miles Cockfield, age 13. Ernest Tate, Jr., 13 years old. Devontae Carter, 15. Malia Williams, 12. Moses William, Jr. That's the sleepover who's to celebrate his 14th birthday. Vakeek Jones, 7. Anton Jackson, Jr., age 14. Shantavia Mitchell, age 12.
Patrick Mangan cannot build a physical memorial to these children, though he hopes for one. So he ends his career on the day that ended all they could have been, his way to honor their memory.
I've chosen May 21st because it's 33 years, but it's also 17 years to the anniversary of one of the most tragic events in my career, and maybe even in the city of Cleveland. And that's one of the reasons I'm choosing to retire on this date, to draw attention to this tragedy and let no one forget that those 8 children who had lives of promise, of hope, that was extinguished that night. And that's difficult to deal with.
And that was Monica Robbins reporting. Well, now that he is retired, Mangan has 2 wishes. First, he says access to mental health services has diminished in recent years, so he hopes the department under new leadership changes that. He'd also like to see a permanent memorial to remember the 8 young lives lost in that fire.